Yo, what's up guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video. I've got a cool Ultra League team for you that got me all the way to the 3200 ELO range, and we had some crazy wins as well. Also, take a look at this new background in the Go Battle League in celebration of the World Championships coming up. They have shifted the background to an arena, kind of like in the main series, right? Or in the anime when Ash Ketchum was battling the Elite Four. And he's in the big arena with all the fans. And they announced the championship of this year's Worlds will be in an arena, actually, which is really exciting. That'll be such a spectacle for everyone to watch and experience. And here we go. The team I'm running is Lapras, Shadow Drapion, and Virizion. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too spicy, a pretty meta team. We're opting for Sludge Bomb on Drapion, mainly for coverage against opposing Virizion. If I don't have Sludge Bomb there, opposing Virizion is a little bit tough for this team in general, so I figure the coverage could help me there. But there are times where missing that Aqua Tail definitely is unfortunate for this Drapion move set. They swap into a Shadow Hippowdon. I was trying to be cheeky and catch on my Virizion, but I was a little bit too slow. They just throw instantly. And this knocks us out, but this is fine because now we get a full farm down with Virizion, and hopefully this energy goes a long way. They are going to fire off a Scorching Sands here most likely. We do resist that damage, get the full double kick down. So much energy on our Virizion, and they come immediately with the Gator. I think I threw immediately, so probably should have gone for the sneak, just kind of made the wrong decision there. But this should knock them out, and then we have a 2-on-1 fast break against whatever is in the back, and it's going to be a Shadow Golurk. So Shadow Golurk, I wasn't really expecting to see, and I start to get a little bit nervous here because although I have a lot of charge attack pressure, I don't have any fast attack pressure. They take the Leaf Blade, and then I'm in this situation. I'm like, wait, do I just commit to fast attacks at this point, or do I throw my Crunch? I decided to throw my Crunch, maybe because I'm also kind of fishing for a debuff. Could increase the damage I'm outputting, but in the end, you're going to see this is so close. He goes for the full slap down. Once again, I throw the Crunch, but honestly, I probably should have just gone for a Sting here. And then we get the double kick through. This is going to be a dynamic punch, most likely. We hang on. The double kick knocks out. So because I never even reached a third charge attack there, I definitely should have just committed to fast attacks. But it's one of those in-between scenarios, right? Where you're not sure if you're better off committing just to fast attacks or throwing your charge attacks. Next up, we have Scaffo, terrific player. Lapras into Cradily, not the best, not the worst. We do take super effective from their charge attacks, but we also pasted this Ice Beam relatively quickly, and we throw on charge attack priority, it looks like, against Cradily. Take the Rock Tomb, Ice Beam, going through here. Let's see if it connects. It does, since he debuffed us already. Maybe it was more likely to take the Ice Beam. I throw the Crunch here, hoping that it knocks out if it connects, but wasn't 100% sure, and neither was Scaffo. He decides to shield it. We're going to return a shield because he didn't swap immediately. He tells me that maybe he doesn't have an obvious answer to Drapion. He comes in Talon after the debuff, and now I'm really missing Aqua Tail here, right? Aqua Tail would just be so much more efficient here than Crunch, but it is what it is. I get the defense drop, which is quite nice, so we're getting pretty lucky in this game. And then we go for the Crunch, and I decide to catch onto Lapras. Is this the right play? I don't know, but it's what we do. Fly, connects. Oh, and then check out what happens here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I get the damage registration error. I get extremely lucky this game, not only with the Crunch debuff, but also damage registration error. What's that, Rise? It's when the fast attack technically should be registering first, but you get the charge attack off one turn before the damage applies. So this is really unfortunate for Scaffo, and if I was him, I would be pretty annoyed. I would be pretty annoyed, honestly. He probably should have won that game, if we're being honest. Okay, next game. Shadow Caesar against our Lapras here. We saw a ton of Caesar on this day. It was like definitely the most common lead we saw. I swapped Drapion. I think this might be against Uzuku. A terrific battler from Chicago. We take the Trailblaze. I thought he was going to catch, and I get just way too hesitant here. Way too hesitant. And I allow him to throw again. Would have been much better to throw earlier, put the pressure on him. So not playing this really that ideally so far. He comes in with Tapu Fini. I thought he might be likely to shield this because I crunched the Scizor from a range where Aqua Tail would KO, but he doesn't shield. He swaps Malamar, and then this is really awkward because Malamar kind of beats both Lapras and Virizion, so I'm not feeling too good about this situation. Sparkling Aria does grab a shield, and I figure he might not go Superpower here because I'm not sure it even knocks out anyway. So yeah, I think double foul play is probably the play. And I think I decide to use my last shield because I got to get some damage off on this Malamar. So we have no Protect shields remaining. Sparkling Aria connects. I hard pivot into Virizion. Just throw Leaf Blade instantly, putting on the pressure. But Malamar's got energy. He still has the Tapu Fini with a little bit of health, a little bit of energy. Gonna fire off the superpower at me here most likely. And fires off another. But because he debuffs himself, the second superpower shouldn't knock out. I figure he's probably gonna catch here. And what I don't want to do is knock out the Tapu, because then I simply get farmed down and lose the game. So instead, I do a Sacred Sword, I undercharge. And then check out this play. We wait out our timer, waiting for that switch timer to come up, do a few side waves, and then catch when he's forced to throw. And now is our Lapras going to be able to outpace the Malamar? Yes, it is. Pretty crazy win there. Just happened to make a great catch in the end to win, but it's also a difficult situation for Uzo, right? Because if he lets me farm him down, then he loses. So like, really difficult situation there. Just kind of came down to a guessing game and ended up being a nice win for us. Lapras into Gliscor. They swap Steelix. Very good matchup here for Virizion. And they're probably going to throw some Psychic Fangs at us. Psychic Fangs, not doing too much. Not a very powerful move. Go for a Sacred Sword. Virizion very comfortable here. Don't really have to worry about too much with these Thunder Fangs being resisted. Totally fine taking another Psychic Fangs. Shiny Steelix, I guess, is slowly chipping away at our health. I don't feel a need to like overfarm here or undercharge because it's not going to knock out anyway. So I get a nice farm anyway. Gliscor comes back. And we'll be able to get off at least a couple Leaf Blades here for some valuable chip damage. The awkward thing is Gliscor will get a sizable farm down. So that's something we'll have to be concerned about. We also don't have Aqua Tail on our Drapion if that comes into play. So it gets a pretty hefty farm. We come in with Lapras. They swap into a Scrafty. They swap into a Scrafty. I'm like, oh no, dude. Is this thing about to just ramp up? And is this thing just going to ramp up and run through me? And I'm telling you, I totally forgot that this thing has upper hand. I was like, wait, what is upper hand? It's apparently a fighting clone of Aqua Jet, so a very strong attack, very efficient. I thought he was just going to throw power-up punches and run through me. We throw the Sludge Bomb here, and this is actually pivotal because not only do we get it off first, but it's a charge attack priority. So Scrafty could have farmed down here, and then we would have been in a pretty rough-looking situation, honestly. But now Scrafty no longer has a Protect Shield. I wasn't convinced Sparkling Aria knocked out here. Looks like our opponent lagged a little or something, but they still get off the attack first. Ice Beam does a little bit more than Sparkling Aria, so I figured make sure I knock this thing out. And now Gliscor has a ton of energy. I figure I could maybe tank an Earthquake, and a lose condition could be like letting him boost, and then he gets to a big move, and he does actually boost on us. So I think taking that first one ended up being the right call, and we get to the Sparkling Aria here to win us the game. Lapras hears the roar of the crowd in the stadium. GG. Next battle. Was that Mia? Golisopod, okay. If Golisopod is running Shadow Claw, it becomes a little bit of a better matchup for Lapras because the Shadow Claws just aren't going to add up as much as the Stab Fury Cutters would. Same type attack bonus. Allows those moves to do a tiny bit more damage. Going for the Sparkling Aria here, more efficient than the Ice Beam. We are going to get slightly outpaced to each attack by the Golisopod. Only 10 turns to every X-Scissor. For us, it's 12, 11, 11. I go for the Ice Beam because I want to do more damage here. Knowing he's going to outpace me to the third move anyway. He throws. This should knock out our Lapras here. And I go for a Sting Down with Drapion because I don't think I can really double kick down before he gets to another attack. We have some nice energy with Drapion. What comes in? Fortress. But it's Volt Switch, which surprised me. Volt Switch Fortress. And I'm going to stay in momentarily. I figure this is Rock Tomb, so I'm actually going to just let this go. Save my energy, clear my debuff, go in Virizion. And get off a Sacred Sword before I get debuffed. The fact that they're staying in, though, tells me whatever's in back maybe doesn't really want to see Virizion. So I'm feeling okay about the situation. We also wall the energy of Fortress unless they're running like Mirror Shot. But, of course, Mirror Shot doesn't really do much damage. We're maximizing our energy here. Not very threatened by the Fortress, especially since it's running Volt Switch. That's really helpful for us. I think he's 2 Volt Switches off his next attack, so you're actually going to see me throw on suboptimal timing here just to maximize my energy. Another Sacred Sword. And what's going to be in the back? Oh, it's a Zygarde. I swap to clear my debuffs. So now once my Virizion comes back in, it'll be back to normal. Get off a couple crunches here. Not sure I'm going to reach a third crunch, but hopefully this does enough where it can pave the way for our Virizion. It's starting to approach Leaf Blade range, and we still have both Protect Shields to hide behind. Now here, you know they're probably going to bait you, right? But sometimes you have to think about, like, the win condition versus the lose condition. In my opinion, I don't think there's any way he can double bait me and then knock me out still. So I think the lose condition would be, like, no shielding and outrage, right? Versus even if we know we're probably going to get baited, doesn't really matter in this scenario. Shield and Virizion gets the win. Let's go. I think we have a couple more battles to round out this video. Going up against Red, like in the main series. Another Scizor. Scizor, don't love seeing it. It's definitely a little bit difficult for this team. But it's difficult for a lot of teams. It's a very strong Pokemon. Has its weaknesses, right? But puts on so much pressure. We catch on Drapion, and this is like not really a good matchup by any means for Drapion, but at least we resist the charge attacks. Here comes a Swampert. And we are a Sting ahead, so I get off this crunch. And now we're faced with a decision. Like, do we shield? What I don't want to happen here is I shield, and then he takes it and lives anyway and gets off his second Hydro. So that'd be pretty devastating for us. So instead I come in with Lap. And I was thinking probably Sludge Hydro, right? But they hit us with the Earthquake. And once they reveal that, I decided to just swap in and, oh, baby. Oh, boy, we're getting melted by the Talonflame. Yikes. So, not a lot I think I really could have done this game unless maybe I had shielded up my Drapion and tried to fight for switch against the Swampert. I guess that's the only thing I could have done differently, and then hope our chipped Lapras could still beat the Talonflame. But yeah, tough alignment here. And I just play this out, you know, for kicks and giggles. I thought maybe there was a chance I could, like, bank a move, but no, this is just over. And then check this out, to add insult to injury. We've already lost this game, but the Flame Charge knocks us out through the shield. Oh my gosh. Bullying me. Well, was that our first loss of the video? So maybe we needed it. Plus, we got really lucky in those earlier games, so a little bit of karma. We're playing Ice Relax here. Lapras into Florges. Florges is a little bit of a tricky Pokemon for us because it has super effective Trailblaze. Also beats our Virizion hard in the back, so we're kind of ABA weak to this thing. Trailblaze connects. Going for the Sparkling Aria here. And, you know, I think I should have played this lead differently because a Trailblaze doesn't knock me out here. So trying to catch it just seems kind of unnecessary. And then he doesn't fall for the catch, so he goes for the Moonblast. I shield it successfully. Oh, man, in comes Stunfisk. This is horrible, especially since we don't have Aqua Tail, right? If we had Aqua Tail, maybe we could threaten to, like, 3-shot it. I don't know. Probably not. Actually, yeah, I think Aqua Tail probably 3-shots it. Stunfisk, Mud Bomb does a lot. Gonna get off a crunch here. And then I'm gonna look to pivot when I can into Virizion. And I do catch a Mud Bomb in the process. Our opponent decides to build energy. Comes in with Moltres, which is an intriguing decision. Probably would have been better coming in Florges, but maybe because Florges has already been chipped, they felt like this was the better choice. Gotta shield this fly. This would easily knock us out. I decided to overfarm as much as possible because I want to have energy for the Florges. I swap into Drapion. This is going to knock us out. Maybe I should have fired off both first. I don't know. But yeah, this is pretty awkward, honestly. They don't have energy, however, on this thing. So I'm hopeful maybe I can, like, throw twice and then get out of here. But as you see, the switch timer is just not coming up anytime soon. And it's not going to be up in time, so they can simply Moonblast us here. And they're not quite in farm down range for Lapras. 5 Vine Whips to the Trailblaze. I guess maybe, but they did bank a discharge, so yeah, that's why I couldn't really farm down. Because I think they would win CMP anyway, right? With Stunfisk. Let me check that just out of my own curiosity on the side. If I go to Single Battle, Ultra League, Lapras, and Stunfisk. Oh, it's actually IV dependent. So I think our Lapras, because we have higher attack, would actually win that chart attack priority. But would I have lived the Trailblaze if I got that farm down? I don't know. Also, he could have probably committed to Moonblast if he wanted to. So I don't think we would have won that game. And I remember Ice Relax came in afterwards to say good game to us. So GG's to him. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. If you're new around here, comment down below. All comments are appreciated. And also, if you're watching this right now, I'm going live at 2 p.m. Central Time for a special stream with a lot of guests, some of the likes of Homeslice Henry, It's Axon, among others. And it should be a really fun time. So join me there live. If you are around it, it'll be an amazing time, hopefully. And all that said, thank you once again. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.